What's up, guys? As you have probably figured out, this is gonna be a moto vlog. We're gonna go this way. We'll go through the neighborhood first. It is such a beautiful day here in Owasso. The leaves are falling. It's about like 67 degrees. Perfect day for riding. A little windy, but an absolute perfect day for riding. So this is my 2004 Buell XB12S Lightning. So it's a 1203cc engine, Harley based engine, pretty much. Essentially a Harley, a modified Harley engine. If you don't know anything about Buells, I'll give you a little background on them. Eric Buell started life as a child, and I want to say in Pennsylvania. I don't really know a lot about the guy. I know he's just an excellent motorcycle maker, you know, from what I can read about. So, I had a knack for motorcycles early on. Decided to race them, and wanted to make his own chassis, essentially. So he got Sportster engines and modified them to fit his own chassis. So he started off with these I think we can go this way. He started off with these tube chassis, and had like the looks like they're flying today. I can hear them. Oh yeah, they do touch and goes over here. I got a National Guard or Air Force base or something over here. So anyway, made some pretty wacky designs, it looked like, you know, but they worked really well, utilizing Harley engines, Sportster engines specifically, so the Evo motor. The guy saw a lot of potential in that, and went from there. So had the tube chassis bikes. They lasted a while, and then in 04 he came out with this. This is his own design. It is a very modified Harley engine. It does not use any Harley frame parts or anything like that. It is its own thing. Everything is centralized and low for weight. It is a very short wheelbase. I want to say like, I don't know, 52 inches or I don't know, something short. It's a really short bike. Lots of torque, lots of power for what it is. I think it only weighs 390 or 400 pounds or whatever. You know, if you want to split the 10-pound difference, 395. Got about 100 horsepower, about 90 pound-feet of torque. It shifts like a Harley. You better be like pretty direct with it. It does not shift like a Japanese bike. It's very, very American. It's not a bad thing. I personally like it. You know, I like kind of forcing it in the gear and making it like it. You know, it's kind of nice to me. It's an Evo based engine, so it's air cooled. It still has a 5-speed transmission, still has a bunch of Sportster parts on the insides, so like the primary chain, the clutch drive, and all that stuff. I think the gearing is a little different as far as the internals of the transmission. The final drive is the same, and I know the final drive gearing on the sprockets is the same too. I know these have a lighter weight crank in them, hotter cams, and a way better head design. That's what makes it put out about 100 horsepower. So, and there's more to go too. You can actually modify these pretty good. This one in particular, it is intake, just a Canon intake, and a drummer exhaust, a really early drummer exhaust. So I guess back in the day, they would have, you would send them your muffler, and then they would modify it and then put all their internal stuff on there. So that's what it is. And then it's got a race tune in it, which I tweaked a little bit because it wasn't perfect. You know, I can't just leave anything alone. So please do not pull out in front of me. Awesome. And then that's it, really. I haven't really done any mods to this thing. I'm just kind of happy with it the way it is. Oh, I changed the headlights too, like they're LEDs, so whatever. That's not really a mod. So this isn't the original color. This color is GM pearlescent from the Cadillac. So, and I am going to possibly lane filter. Yeah, we're gonna lane filter. Oh yeah. Some people get pissed off about this. I don't really care. I'm not getting rear-ended, dude. I'm faster than you. But anyway, again, a very centralized, great handling bike. I mean, it is nimble, a very nimble bike. The brakes are pretty damn good. It's got a perimeter brake on it. You probably saw that in the little walk around beginning video there. Very unique to Buell. Got a 6-piston caliber up front. Another kind of regular one in the back, like a single, I think. Belt drive. I'm not really sure why they used a belt drive. Maybe because it was just part of the Harley parts thing, you know, at that time. Hell, it still is. There's nothing really wrong with the belt drive. Chains just look cooler to me. I had a chain on my Sportster, so just if you ever replace it, just use a good belt, like a $200 plus belt, you know, like Drag Specialties or an OEM. Nothing Amazon. Don't use a $20 belt. Those are stupid. Plenty of power for getting around town and stuff. Like, I mean, it is. It's a very, how can I say, playful bike. Like, it's, man, it just wants to have fun. That's the only way I can describe this bike. It's pretty reliable as far as the mechanics of it. The electrics, you know, it's a 20-year-old bike now, so it's gonna have problems. This one's got 26,000 miles on it, and I've had like one little electrical problem with it, and it ended up just being another ignition relay, so not a real big deal. I don't really care. It's easy to replace, you know, like, so you turn the key on and you go to start it, and all the electrics would just die in it, and you would take out the ignition fuse, put it right back in, and it would just come back to life, and you can start it, hopefully. It ended up being just a shorted relay, so I guess like when you disconnect the power for that relay, it would just unseize itself, or I don't know what the hell's going on inside that relay, but it fixed it. I just replaced the relay and it fixed it, so not a real big deal. I replaced the rotor and stuff in the front too because it was warped. Let's see, what else about this bike? Oh yeah, so Eric Buell. Yeah, let's go back to that. So he made these very futuristic looking bikes with an archaic motor engine, for you guys who are really specific about that stuff. And it worked. It worked really well. It still looks like a modern bike. I get asked about it all the time when I ride this thing. Hey, what is that, you know? I'm like, it's a Buell. I'm like, whoa, what year is it? I'm like, it's an 04. They're just kind of blown away, you know? And the people that do know about these are like, just get a kick out of it, like, oh man, I haven't seen one of those in a while, you know? And you really don't. You don't see these that often. So I think in 04, I want to say they only made 10,000 of them or something like that. I don't know. And there's probably a lot less now, you know, because they've been wrecked and crashed and burned and theft and all that jazz. So, but he made these. He made a Firebolt, which is like a crotch rocket looking one. I don't like those particularly. I respect them, but they're like the same chassis. But all the fuse stuff on this bike is under my seat, like a normal bike. That one is in this damn fairing, and it's exposed. Hey, a Cobra. I just don't like that. It just looks odd. Like, why in the hell do they do that? Why do they just keep it all in the under the seat like a normal bike and just put their little fairing on the front of it? I have no clue. I don't know why they did that stuff. It's just weird. And then there is a couple of versions of the Lightning. You can get a Lightning Long, which is like I want to say 3 inches longer than this one. It's meant for a taller person. You can get a City one, which I think is the same wheelbase as this, but I think it comes with like hand guards and some headlight guards. I don't know. And then there's a SCG or something like that. I don't know. I don't know all the specifics on them, but I know there's different models of them, but I do know the difference between the long one and the short one, so that's really it. The Firebolt, it was just a Firebolt. They came in a 12 and a 9, just like this one came in a 900cc and a 1200cc. From what I've read online, I've never ridden a 9, I've only ridden 12s. This is my second one I've ever ridden. The first one I rode with a friend of mine a long time ago, and I fell in love with it. But the 9s, they rev higher, and they put out like, I want to say like 8 less horsepower or something like that. Like, I mean, they're up there. Like, I think they're like 90 horsepower or 92 horsepower or something like that. They're not a slouch. But from every review I've read online or watched or anything like that, the 12 has a lot more low-end grunt. And this thing does have a lot of low-end grunt. I think I'm in, let's see, I'm in 5th. Okay, I'll just make it sure. And you can just roll into it, and it'll start going pretty good. So really no need to downshift on the highway or anything like that. You know, I'm cruising at a brisk 45 miles an hour right now on this absolutely beautiful road. This is my absolute favorite road in Owasso here. It just goes to a dead end though, but it's, God, look at this. It's so pretty out here. Nice little curve up here. A little downhill swooper. And he's gonna turn because this is the dead end up here. And there's only 2 people that live back here. But there's like a big gated community right there. So, but this area is just, God, I mean, look at this. These people think I'm probably weird coming back here. I come back here about once a week or so, just kind of just check it out, see the scenery change, you know. But so Eric Buell ran into some issues with Harley, and they really screwed him over. And so he separated, he cut ties with Harley in 09, 10, something like that. And then he made his own brand called EBR, that'd be Eric Buell Racing. Came out with another bike called the 1125, I believe. It was a liquid-cooled V-twin still. Not this one ain't liquid cooled, it's air cooled. But went to a liquid-cooled Rotax V-twin, and I don't know anything about them bikes. I could not tell you anything about them. I know they're quick as hell, and I've seen people have problems with them online, which, look, you're gonna have problems with every bike. You really are. Some of them are more tedious than others. I have no clue about the 1125, so if you're a 1125 fanboy, I am sorry. I don't know diddly shit about it. Made that one for a while, and then I'm not sure if he just, I think it was maybe a couple of years or something like that, but like he just recently came out with another model, and it's the the 1190 Hammerhead. Now, this is a BAMF. If you don't know what BAMF is, Google it. It is pretty cool looking. It is a I just ran over that stick for no damn reason. It is a 185 horsepower V-twin, liquid cooled, not a Rotax engine. It is his own design, 6-speed monster. Like, I mean, it is a fast bike for a V-twin. So it still has all of its little Arai Buell touches on it, like the big brake rotor in the front and all that stuff, you know. Just a cool bike. I want to say the MSRP on that bike now is around 20 grand. There are not dealerships for these bikes. You have to order online, but there are dealerships that will service them for warranty work if you need warranty work on them. These, you're on your own. You can pretty much, you can go to a Harley dealership and get a couple of probably engine parts and stuff, you know. Somebody was telling me that there's a Harley dealership online that actually has a bunch of new old stock stuff, and they still sell to the public. It's something Kansas City, Harley Davidson or something. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I've never bought any parts from them. But yeah, Arai Buell is still making motorcycles. I would love to ride a Hammerhead. I've watched quite a few review videos on them from like Yami Noob and some other guys. I can't remember their names, sorry, but they all love the damn thing, and they're like, it's a true American sport bike. So me, I'm an American guy, so I like American stuff. Now, if you're in the market for a sport bike, get what you want. I'm gonna tell you that right now. All right, just get what you want. There are a lot faster bikes in this thing. I could have easily went and got a Busa or some ZX10 or 14R or 1000RR or Gixxer, blah, 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 whatever. I could have got any one of them bikes. I purposely bought this or got it. I really wanted one. Like I said, the first time I rode one, I fell in love with it, and I never forgot that, and it still stays true. Like, this bike is just so fun to ride, and it's easy to ride to me. Like, I mean, it's very forgiving. It's got a ton of torque down low, so if like you're just kind of cruising along, you can just kind of give it the beans right there, and it'll scoot. A very nimble bike. It's perfect for the city. It's not too big. I absolutely like this bike a lot. There's a donkey. Jackass. It's quick enough for me. That's all I can say. I don't need to go, you know, 150 miles an hour on the highway or anything like that. This thing will probably top out at 140 on its best day. So that's fine with me. I don't need anything crazy. I don't need a 200 horsepower monster. Now, I do wish this thing had probably about 30 more horsepower, and I can probably easily attain that, you know, with just doing some head work or something. But yeah, that's for later on. I ain't worried about it. I'm just enjoying the damn thing right now. But yeah, if you're ever in the market for a sport bike, don't overlook Buell. You can get these things dirt cheap. This one was on Marketplace for $4 grand, and I'm gonna tell you right now, it was too much. It actually needed some work. It needed tires, it needed a front brake set, it needed, I wouldn't say quite a bit of work, but it needed work. Like, it wasn't just, I mean, I rode it home, but it needed work. The belt on me, it shredded in like 2 days because he put an Amazon belt on there and he didn't know any better. Not a big deal. But just things like that, you know, they have quirks like any other bike. I haven't had any major mechanical issues. It's never left me stranded. Yada yada yada. None of that stuff. But let me get up here and I'll give you a little walk around tour of it, and I'll explain some stuff with it. All right, so I'll get off of it here. What you're hearing is the fan. So it's got a fan on the rear head there. So let's talk about some things that are really odd about it. The entire thing is odd. It is a very odd bike. Everything, like I said, everything is centralized and low, and it's for weight distribution and all that stuff. We'll just start off with like a main one. Everybody thinks that, you know, a normal sport bike, well, it is. This would be the fuel tank. Oh, it's not on this bike. This is the air lid. The fuel tank is the frame here, and on the other side too. It is a dry sump oiling system. So you're like, okay, where's the oil tank at? It is the swing arm. That's where it is, right there. So you got your fuel pump in here too. It's all centralized inside there. You got the pump, you got the regulator, and the fuel filter all in one little unit up in there. You got an external oil cooler. You got a big old scoop right here for to feed the heads and the intake. So mainly the rear head and the intake. You got your oil filter down there and stuff. The differences on the Harley engines is obviously the cam cover is a lot different. It's its own case. It has a lighter weight crank than a Sportster. I want to say you can put one of these cranks in a Sportster case, but you can't put a Sportster crank in one of these cases. I don't know what the difference is. I couldn't tell you. I've never split one of these things apart. So, belt changes for the drive belt are stupid simple. Stupid simple. He thought about this stuff like oh my god. Thank you, Eric. You don't even have to take the wheel off. You don't have to take like anything crazy apart. You literally take these two bolts, this bolt, that hidden bolt right there, this little heel plate right here. Move your master cylinder just a tad out of the way here. Take your belt cover off right here. Take these off. Belt slides off. Put the new one on. Reverse the process. It is the easiest belt job I've ever done in my life. It literally took me 15 minutes. So easy. This one has a rear license plate thing delete. You know, like all the cool biker boys do. Got my Clibbins license plate earlier, brother. Got a bar end mirror on it. These come with some kind of goofy little mirrors that stick up like this, and I don't like those. I like it sleek. It's kind of dirty. You can tell the original color was just red. It was red with gold wheels. It's now that GM pearlescent. I need to do some touch-ups on that. I came like that. I didn't do any of that. All the electronics under the seat. The batteries under the seat. Again, a very centralized bike. Everything was meant for handling. This thing dominates curbs. If you're into that stuff or into an easy wheelie at low speeds, this is the bike for you. Like this thing, the wheel will come up easily in first gear if you're not careful. It handles just superb. Like, oh my god, the handling is superb on this bike. And I came from a Sportster, and then my Sportster was very far from stock. It had a 1275cc kit in it from Hammer Performance, and this thing would whip its ass. Like, bad. Even all that stuff I had done to that Sportster, this thing would just absolutely annihilate it. Sorry, Sportster guys. I'm still a Sportster fan, but dude, this thing's a totally different animal. I don't know if it's the weight or I have no clue, you know. Yeah. You have an adjustable suspension from the factory. You can adjust the ride height and the firmness of it. The front, it's just the Showa setup, you know, nothing crazy. One little odd thing, you see the axle here, and then normally on a bike you got like, you know, 2 regular wrenches. Well, that one's like a big Allen head. So what I found was I was trying to search for it's like a 22 millimeter Allen, like it's huge. I stuck a spark plug socket in there backwards. I was like, oh, this fits pretty good, you know, because the spark plug sockets have like that little hex on it. Put it in there, and I was like, I wonder if I can put an extension all the way through that tube. And you see where I'm going with this. Yes, it worked. So I found the extension that went all the way through it, and then I just undid my axle that way, and ta-da, I had the wheel off. Hell yeah. So I haven't done the rear one yet. I don't think it's probably the same. Yeah, it's the same thing, so I bet you I could do it with that too. Is it all the way through? Yes, it's all the way through. That's awesome. I'm gonna try it. Anyway, I got excited for that. But yeah, if you're into an odd bike, I'm not gonna bore you guys to death with just talking. This bike, it does it for me. It is an American sports bike. It's a rough idling sumbitch. Like it vibrates like a Harley. It makes cool sounds. It's got plenty of torque, plenty of power, and it's fairly easy to work on. It's not too bad. The Evo motors, they didn't have too many top end issues, so you don't really have to mess with the valve cover area too much. You know, if you did, you're gonna have to drop the motor out of it. You know, it actually doesn't look like too bad of a job. It looks pretty simple to me, but your mechanical ability might be different than mine. I have no clue. It might be easier for you to do it than me. I don't know. I've never done it. Anyway, that's my bike. That's my Buell. Let's see if it'll fire back up again. It might do its little electronical. No, it fired up. So cool beans. Let's go for another ride. I was on the highway. The only thing I actually really do have a complaint about with this bike, and it might be just me, is it'll do like this on the highway if you get too fast, you know. It'll, like, if you get past like I don't know, like 100 or 110, it'll start slapping. Like, you got to be careful with it. I think the fix for this one would be just putting your weight over that front tire, or getting a steering stabilizer or something. So they don't really make a lot of steering stabilizer options for these bikes. Some of them are custom, you know, but definitely a steering stabilizer would be in the works for this thing. But I don't do that often, though. I really don't. I literally just ride around in town with this thing. I might do a little blast like that every once in a while and just like have fun with it, you know. I might try to hang a wheelie every once in a while at first. Nothing crazy. I ain't tearing my damn bike up. I like it. But yeah, cruising speeds. Come on, dude, go. You had that whole entrance ramp to go to the speed limit, and you choose violence. Like, what the hell's wrong with you? But cruising speeds, man, it's pretty comfortable on the highway. It's not too bad. Today's really windy, so it's pretty bad today. But like on a normal day, it's not too bad. It's not like a full fairing bike where you're going to be protected. You really do feel a lot of the wind, and it's going to push you around. But that's naked bike stuff. You know, that's not really you know, unheard of, so nothing unusual. Yeah, I mean, it's really bad today. I mean, you can see Old Glory right there just flapping in the wind, and we got a big one back there too, and it's just flapping. I don't know what the wind is today. It's got to be a good 20 mile an hour. Like, it's stupid today. It might be less than that. I might be just over exaggerating that. Wave at them. Anyway, that is going to do it for this one, guys. If you enjoy this stuff, like, subscribe, do all that YouTuber stuff. Leave a comment down below. Tell me you don't like it. I don't care. I'm going to do what I want anyway. But yeah, I'll make more moto content, you know. I think it's fun. I like riding motorcycles, so it's another part of my little obsession about internal combustion engines. You know, if it makes vroom vroom noises and stuff, I like it. As an old coworker used to tell me, cargo vroom? Yeah, cargo vroom. Because that's all I would talk about is cars. Oh man. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. See you guys in the next one.